Good morning. It is me, Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned In Tarot. We're about to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine sides of self, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment. And if we want our situation to change, we have to find the places where we need to shift and flow with our own energy to create those changes. Welcome. Welcome to all my new TikTok followers. Thank you for heading over here to YouTube to see these full length readings. You can find me pearlsprayers.com for personal readings. Let's get started. All right. We're going to start with the Divine Masculine today because he was showing two cards. I do this style of reading so rarely. This was my standard that I used to do every single day, which now that I think about that, I'm like, I can't believe I used to do this every single day. I like that I have a lot more variety now in my readings, but I forget that I'm supposed to turn all the cards over first. Wow, okay, interesting. Let's go. Top of the deck, overall headspace for the Divine Masculine is this energy of the Six of Cups. So this is the forefront of his mind. This is what is consuming his mind, what he keeps thinking about. And this is the reunion. This is the past. We're not seeing it come in shadow. It feels very innocent and blissful, peaceful. And definitely he's thinking about returning or coming back, because the niggling thing underlying all of his thoughts and decisions is the Ace of Cups. So this is a full cup that he has filled up with his union with the divine. And that divine union that he's been experiencing in self is now able to be shared with the feminine energy. So he's wanting to return and make an offer. To the Queen of Wands, who he's seeing as extremely attractive, very magnetic, really confident, spiritual, fiery, very sexually attractive. He wants this. This is his desire here. And this is who he wants to make this offer to. He's being very concise today. It's not a whole lot here there's not a lot of mystery right now. And I think that's really interesting. This is who he has been wanting to give this offer to. And he's thinking about how this offer is going to create a massive change. And I also think that he feels, or rather thinks, because we're looking at his headspace, he thinks that there needs to be a divine intervention to help ground the connection, to help him be able to remove this mask. Because I chose this deck this morning, which is the Ethereal Visions Tarot, and it just happens to have this masked individual who's falling from this tower. And it's interesting because this tower card is like beautiful. The lightning becomes almost like a protective energy. And I like that because it makes me think about how when people suddenly leave our lives, or our lives change very drastically and we're forced to leave a job, like if we lose our job or just any of those kinds of things, we don't really feel like it, but it's actually a protective thing that's happening if we've asked for something that we want. There are different paths to get what we want. Some of them are very uncomfortable, and some of them are pretty easy and go with the flow. And basically, this journey teaches us how to get from having a lot of tower moments be how we manifest to avoiding tower moments through the way that we think and react to our experiences. So the masculine is having an understanding that when he brings this offer to this Queen of Wands, it will create a massive shift. He will be taking off a mask and releasing his attachment to the way things used to be. And this is what he's been working on. This is the Three of Pentacles in reverse. And I see here the potential that this is about having another party that has had to be released, because there are three individuals here. And I always think of Ron, Harry, and Hermione, because there's also, in this card, there's collaboration and a team effort. So I think that in order to come into the 3D, in order to work with the feminine energy, we're seeing that Divine Masculine has had to make these massive shifts in his energy, which of course has resulted in drastic shifts in his environment. And he's done this so that he could try to collaborate with the Divine Feminine, to work with her on this reunion. And we're seeing now the High Priestess in reverse. And this is what is clarifying the Queen of Wands. And so for me, the High Priestess card is definitely a card about the Divine Feminine. When it's in its reverse, it's about not trusting the Divine Feminine, and about not trusting your own intuition. It can also be about releasing the shadow of the High Priestess, which includes being like, holier than thou, or a little bit too much in the spiritual, a little too much asceticism, that kind of stuff. It's like releasing those tendencies as well. But the clarification of the High Priestess in reverse to the Queen of Wands seems to be about, it's been very difficult for him to trust his Divine Feminine because of the Tower moments that have occurred in the past in regards to a third-party energy that has been released. And so he's been trying to trust the feminine, trying to trust that she's not engaging in third-party activity, which I know is like insulting to me. And then I think about how I put that on my masculine for months too. So we're just seeing masculine like one step behind here, just kind of catching up with Divine Feminine. And here she is in her Queen of Cups, kind, compassionate, caring, empathetic. So now we're seeing that there is, in his mind, embracing compassion and empathy for himself. Honestly, he sees the feminine as having compassion and empathy and having to learn to trust him. But we're seeing him having to learn to trust himself and having compassion and empathy for himself in regards to the Tower moments that he felt he was avoiding by masking, and didn't realize that not being authentic and wearing a mask was actually perpetuating these moments of discomfort and divine intervention. Because if you've asked for something and the divine is like, okay, here it is, and you're like, oh no, I'm not yet able to receive that. I have to, hide my feelings about it at the moment because of my fears. And the divine is like, okay, well, what are you afraid of? And you're like, well, I'm afraid that, this past energy that I was with is going to be really pissed. I'm afraid that I'm going to get rejected ultimately. And I'm afraid that also if I do get it, I'm just going to fumble it and not be able to hold on to it. And the divine's like, okay, well, what do you need me to do to show you that those things aren't true? And you're like, I don't know. And the divine's like, okay, well, I'm going to get creative about it, because you can't wear a mask and be with your feminine. So I got to get you to take that off. And if you're afraid to take it off, I got to show you that there's nothing to be afraid of. So I'm going to wreck your life so that you can see when you wake up the morning after I wrecked your life that you're still whole, everything is still the way it was, the love is still there, you still have your sense of self, and if you survive it, great, you'll move on to the next phase and you'll accept this feminine energy. And if you don't survive it, you'll end up doing it in the next lifetime. That's how this game works. Oh god. So divine masculine is like a really fully aware of everything I just said, because this is in his own headspace. And consequently, he has compassion for himself that he felt the need to wear that mask. He has compassion for the feminine that she had to endure those tower moments. And because of this awareness, he's prepared to release any energy of deception, hiding, or masking in regards to the grounding of the union, the third party energy involved in the union, and anything else that has been hidden. He is prepared to reveal and unmask to avoid another tower moment, because he's got in his noggin that, oh, it is wearing these masks that cause the tower, because I have to take the tower off to be authentically myself. So that's good. Okay, top of the deck, overall heart space for divine masculine. We're using the Wild Unknown Tarot. Literally the best tarot ever. I'm so obsessed with it right now. It's so pretty. The Three of Wands upright. And in this deck, the Three of Wands upright, actually, usually the Three of Wands will be like this when we use the wands to depict this triangle, because the triangle is such a stable shape or something. I don't know, geometry. It's got that stable foundation, like the pyramid is the most solid structure or whatever. But in this case, they choose to depict it this way, which I think is interesting. It's more of that feminine energy for me. But this is about being very patient, because you can see the pieces falling into place. And it's in regards to this reunion. So divine masculine is like, all right, this is happening. I can see that the pieces are falling into place. I have faith that it's going to happen. I'm trusting that it's going to happen. It's looking good. Those ships are coming in. And I'm repeating the mantra, I have infinite trust in source. My trust in source is infinite. Replace source with whatever makes you most comfortable. The thing that is underlying in his heart space is the sun in reverse. Now this card just keeps coming out, and this is like the Nine of Cups. If it's upright or in its reverse, it has the same really positive associations. And when we see it in its reverse, it's really about access to what is available to us. And the reason why we're seeing this is because it's accompanying the underlying thought in the headspace of this Ace of Cups, which is truly, it will make this masculine very happy to have his offer received. And I think he's being a little bit like cautiously optimistic, we'll say, which for him is good, because he has a lot of a tendency to go into a pessimistic mode. And this cautious optimism is also about it being based on his ability to bring enlightenment to the feminine. So he's not certain yet exactly how to illuminate what he knows he must reveal in order to take his mask off. So that it's about that as well. And that's like a little bit about his fears, like in his heart space. The first card coming up to clarify this Queen of Wands energy is the Six of Pentacles. So he intends to reciprocate with this magnetic queen who is pulling him towards her. And it's a solid intention to reciprocate with her right now. He's being very Like I'm at 14 minutes, and usually I'm not this far into his reading. He's just being very concise today. Just like, this is what I think, this is how I feel. There's not a lot of confusion here. The Tower is being clarified by the 9 of Cups in reverse, which is beautiful. I just said Sun and 9 of Cups, upright or in reverse, fan-fucking-tastic. And here we have the wish fulfillment card coming out. And for a reversal for the masculine, and clarifying this makes perfect sense, because this is when we're in shadow in the 9 of Cups, we're being greedy, we're hoarding, we're not expressing our feelings, we're not sharing our abundance. But when it's in its reversal, we're either deeply in that shadow, which is going to cause a tower, or we are releasing everything and finally expressing, which is what is happening because we saw reciprocation coming. Now that we're expressing all of our feelings, this is what will cause a massive shift in this dynamic, a massive positive shift in this dynamic. And the 3 of Pentacles in reverse is being clarified by the Son of Wands, or the Knight of Wands in reverse. And this is exactly what we were saying. The towers were caused by third-party energy. And this wasn't even about engaging with other partners. It's about not trusting that the divine feminine isn't doing that. It's like he realizes that he was so afraid of this happening. It's not even happening. So it's releasing his own beliefs about the feminine's potential sexual energy with other sexual partners, and releasing any desire on his part to engage in that kind of behavior himself. This High Priestess in reverse, 8 of Cups in reverse. This is please baby don't go energy. Why? Because 3 of Pentacles in reverse, which we already saw right before this card. Because I've released this third party energy. There's nothing blocking me anymore from working with you. So trust me. Please trust that I'm not engaging in this behavior. I'm trusting now that you aren't. So we are both trusting each other. Please, God, let divine feminine side be trusting. And I think it might be because I did not get a single extra card today. When I get a lot of extra cards, it's like overthinking, overfeeling. I didn't even get extra oracles, I think. I think the union is just here. So divine masculine will not walk away from his divine feminine. He wants to work with her. He wants to release this block that's been preventing him from being with her in the 3D, from collaborating and working with her. And he knows that the only way to end this cycle between them is to change his behavior. This is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. He has to change his behavior in regards to his secrecy, not communicating and keeping secrets if he wants to be able to have this reunion. He knows this and he feels this. And seeing as the underlying thing in the back of his mind is giving this offer, it seems that he is willing to change and express so that he can have this reunion. I need coffee. Ew, I ran out of coconut water. I make my own cold brew with like really dark coffee beans. And then I use half cold brew concentrate and half coconut water. And then I'll do like I make my own. Now I do make my own creamer, like I'll usually use like coconut cream or something. And it's so good. And I ran out of coconut water and just had to use regular water. And I'm like, ew, it tastes like so watered down because coconut water is so good. I don't realize how integral it is to the mouth feel. Okay, let's look at Divine Feminine, top of the deck, overall headspace for her. The Two of Wands in reverse. Since I spent my entire weekend talking about the twin flame connection, I completely understand Divine Feminine being quite exhausted by this journey and having a feeling of not having to wait anymore. But did you hear how I phrased that? I said not having to wait, not wanting to, but not having to. And the reason why is because of this thing that's underlying all of her thoughts and decisions. She's recognizing her own ability to shine. She has fully engaged in healing, and we're seeing her in the energy of the star. She's thinking about herself as a star that and about her wish fulfillment. And she has hope. So she is really feeling positive, and I feel like she doesn't feel bound to the back and forth elements. It's like she's elevated above the cycles of the twin flame journey. She's healed the things that kept her locked in that loop. And so she feels hopeful right now that, and I shit you not, the time is right. Here's the Wheel of Fortune. So again, we see that right away this reflection between the two of them. Divine Masculine knowing he needs to change to end the cycle, and Divine Feminine feeling very hopeful that the cycle is ending because Divine Feminine is, okay, you that are watching this, you are composed of masculine and feminine. You are thinking of a person, either a feminine or a masculine, identifying individual regardless of their gender. And that person has to change their behavior in regards to hiding the truth, to keeping secrets, to not revealing themselves, to not being authentic, and actually express themselves integrated with their feminine energy, right? And it's time for the masculine to make that change. Okay. Well, you personally yourself have to make this change too. If you want Divine Masculine to change, then you have to think very hard. Probably not actually that hard. You probably know exactly what you need to do. But you have to think, what do I need to express or communicate or not hide, and express and communicate and don't hide that, right? And how am I not being authentic? If you don't know what your passions are, if you don't know where you want to go and what direction you want to move in, if you don't know what clothes to wear without looking on the internet for what is cool, if you don't know, if you have no connection to your inner world of what you love and is meaningful to you, you have to change. You have to release the masks you've been wearing and become authentic if you want the person that you associate with this energy to change. And Divine Feminine, the feminine side of self, is hoping, she's feeling hopeful that her masculine energy is going to be able to do this so that the union can happen. That's how this works. That's how my readings work. When I'm reading, you're thinking of a person, and that's fine. That's good. That's why you're here. You're on the journey of learning these lessons through this person. The next thing on Divine Feminine's mind is the Four of Pentacles. So to get the Wheel of Fortune, which is about a lot of abundance and good luck and prosperity, and then to see this Four of Pentacles, which is about financial foundations. I don't feel any shadow here. This isn't about not being able to let go today, not with the rest of the cards I'm looking at here for sure. This is, I've got my shit together. I've got a stable foundation. I can see how I can make this work and then some. I can see the potential for growth here. However, this is a material foundation, not the Four of Wands. So this isn't about my relationships right now, but this is about my material world. And it's about my personal security. I personally feel very secure is how Divine Feminine is feeling. When she was at one point in time very insecure, she is starting to feel secure in herself, which means that also the person you're thinking of is starting to feel secure in themselves. And that means that they will have more confidence in being able to express themselves. Do you see? Okay, so now the feminine energy. The next thing on her mind, justice. So this is positive legal judgments. It is, it's actually also about reciprocity, like getting what is deserved. It's about just punishments and balance. So Divine Feminine is feeling lucky, fortunate. She's grateful. That is making her have this solid foundation. That is making her strive for and experience a state of harmony or balance inside herself. It's giving her a lot of discernment and the ability to see very clearly, and consequently clarifying this wheel of fortune. We see the sun, and we already saw it reflected back to us in the masculine energy. Divine Feminine feels happy. She feels like this twin flame journey is coming to an end. For some, this means she's moving on. For others, this means her reunion is imminent. But she feels like she doesn't have to wait anymore. The inner child has been healed, is ready to play and be out in the sun. She's also received enlightenment. I just started working with a client who works with phototherapy, light therapy, and gave me some solid advice. She said to use the app D-Minder. And if you start getting the vitamin D you need, it will transform your life, and you'll be, it's 7:33 on the clock, you will be awakened to your spiritual gifts even more. So note to self to do that, especially since I spend all day in my apartment like a vampire. But Divine Feminine is feeling happy and grateful. Guess what happens when you feel happy and grateful? Well, good stuff. And here's the good stuff. It's the Knight of Wands. Do you think these two are in union today? Divine Masculine is releasing the shadow traits. He's releasing his fear. Divine Feminine is in the shadow traits. He wants to be able to sweep Divine Feminine off her feet. And Divine Feminine is being swept off of her feet by this energy, by this momentum of her gratitude, by this feeling that there is justice, that there is harmony, by the faith that she has. And this Knight of Wands is clarifying this Four of Pentacles. So she feels like now that she has a solid foundation, she's in a place where she can be kind of romanced. Before, it wouldn't happen. And it was because she kept seeking that foundation in her partner. And then the next energy is the Page of Coins in reverse. So this is her releasing feelings of unworthiness. This is also clarifying the Justice card. So she's released, honestly, her attachment to needing justice to move forward. I'm being called to say that, but for sure, she's understanding that the small gestures that she received have not done the union justice. And she knows that because the scales are being balanced, she's going to see a larger return on her investment. She's also making big moves now instead of small moves. She's making much larger moves in her life. That's all in the head space. Let's go ahead now and look at the heart space. Top of the deck, another ace. The Ace of Pentacles. So divine feminine with that material world offer. Divine masculine with this offer of love. Rekindling something with new love. And divine feminine's offer here, which we've been seeing the last few days, has been about her abundance and her prosperity. Everything she has to offer. This is in her heart. She can feel this on the table. She feels this offer on the table. And she knows that she put this offer on the table herself, right? The niggling thing in the back of her mind, or her heart space rather, is the Hanged Man energy. So there is a suspension here. She has hopes that this suspension will give both of the twins the perspective they need to end the journey so that masculine can make this offer and divine feminine can receive it. And she's not chafing against the suspension right now because she understands that with time comes understanding. With understanding comes the ability to be very unconditionally loving. She doesn't need to move fast. This is the Knight of Swords. She is really allowing divine timing to be in charge. She's not forcing anything. She's not trying to rush or be reckless anymore. She's releasing any tendency to potentially do that. Instead of needing this, rushing in sensation, we have the Knight of Cups. This is her, I don't need somebody to come at me with reckless abandon. I need them to come to me with an offer of love, with the ability to express themselves and their feelings, not just their thoughts or their strategy, but how they feel. And now that I have this foundation, I feel ready to be open to receiving this. I feel my worthiness, and I want to offer my cup as well. The union in this spread is astonishing. This Justice card is being clarified by the Three of Wands in reverse. For divine masculine, it was upright. For divine feminine, it is in reverse because there has been a feeling of impatience about the time that it has taken for justice to occur. It's about really, 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 really challenging her faith and trust. And her headspace is trying to be really like discerning and logical and have clarity about what is a really frustrating experience so that she can not do anything to disrupt her potential offer coming in. The Sun is being clarified by the Two of Wands again. So we have twin flame energy coming from this. And she's honestly happy about the journey right now. It's like, I don't have to wait. Not I don't want to wait, but I don't have to wait. And I can actually just enjoy myself right now while I wait. Because I'm no longer doing the back and forth thing that makes me feel so bad and makes the masculine energy feel so bad. I can just sort of enjoy myself. It's not the same. It just doesn't feel the same to her that it has always felt. And I think also she's in the light where she's asked and she's receiving it, and you don't have to do anything after that. Once you ask the divine for something, let the divine do it. Let it happen. So I see a feminine who's like, I'm ready to just let it happen. And she's experiencing enlightenment, lots of enlightenment about the journey itself, about the meaning of it, about the reasons for it. And it's helping her have a lot of understanding. And then, holy shit, the next card is Justice in reverse. There's so much union just within her. And this is her feeling how unfair it was that Divine Masculine had been in this Knight of Wands energy where he was inconsistent, where he didn't stick around, where he would sweep her off her feet and then leave again. But she's releasing the feelings of what made her fixate on how that felt unfair. And she's believing that the scales are going to be balanced in regards to this energy, and that Divine Masculine will be in the light and will be able to follow his passion and come forward towards her. And this I don't know why I said 3, Page of Pentacles in reverse is being clarified by the 6 of Swords in reverse. So there's 2 things here. She's not going anywhere. She's not going to run off or leave or move on because the masculine is only able to give her small gestures right now. She doesn't care about the size of his gestures. She is sticking around for it, but this card is also here because she knows she's still learning lessons about how to make bigger, larger moves in her own life and how to have more financial prosperity to work with. So she knows, okay, I'm in this point where I'm needing to learn this. And she's uncomfortable because since she's always been receiving such small gestures, she's not sure what to expect on this next shore. She doesn't know what leveling up to the next phase is really going to look like. So that is what is in Divine Feminine's headspace and heart space. Interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the oracles. Help Divine Masculine to make that change he needs to make to be able to fully express. Divine Masculine right now is in the shadow attributes of the companion energy, which says betrayal by misusing confidences and loss of personal identity. And that is what we are most focused on, the personal identity aspect. Because part of the mask that Divine Masculine has been wearing is about this lack of authentic self. And often we will seek our authenticity through a relationship with someone else who we want to be like, who we admire in some way. I did this completely. Is there something in my hair? Ugh, that's going to annoy me. It was fuzz. So we will, our identity will be in our coupling. We won't have our own 7:44 on the clock, our own sense of self. And so Divine Masculine is needing to call in the light in this energy. I think also he needs to really believe in feminine's loyalty. Divine Masculine is really questioning loyalty right now because Divine Feminine went through that, and now Masculine is going through that. Feminine has come to her own conclusions about it and her own feelings about it that are positive. She feels that she feels she can trust her masculine energy. And Divine Masculine is learning this lesson. Someone who's bringing in the Ace of Cups is ready for commitment because their cup is filled and overflowing. And Divine Masculine's guardian angel is here to support him in his commitments to himself, which will help him to keep his commitments to his Divine Feminine energy. I find a deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. This was in reverse, and I feel like if there's a Tower card in this, the universe has your back deck, it would be this one. Because to me, the Tower is the place to be for deeper meaning and personal growth. And if you want to find the most helpful information inside of self, go look at the Tower moments in your life what caused them, how you reacted to them, and then find all of the same similar types of moments from the earliest phases of your life to trace the line of the wound you received that taught you a limiting belief that you keep needing to learn through an experience of discomfort. So divine masculine, since this is referring to the tower, it is really emphasizing for you that you just need to face the space inside of yourself. You need to be in the discomfort. For instance, this masculine is very afraid to approach the feminine energy. I've seen that coming up in his readings, and I feel it, and I know it because I'm psychic. And this masculine is terrified, like stage fright terrified. Even if this person is able to do that in their life, and approaching this feminine, it's just terrifying to this person, to this energy. Because of rejection and abandonment wounds. And so consequently, it is the most uncomfortable thing to initiate something that will bring about an incredible amount of comfort. But not being able to sit in uncomfortable feelings makes it impossible for this masculine to shift. He wears a mask to stay comfortable. To change, he needs to take the mask off. The next card coming out for divine masculine is financial health in reverse. So there's concerns here, especially with the Wheel of Fortune card in reverse, and some of the mask he wears for this feminine has to do with his finances. The Three of Pentacles being in reverse too, this is like, even if it appears that he has security, he thinks and feels that he doesn't. So, and this is so interesting. In your chart, in your astrological chart, wherever your Chiron is, the sign and the house it's in that's called your karmic debt. And it's like the place of the wounded healer. So whatever wounds you have there, you will have to heal those wounds. And then once you do that, you will show others how to heal those wounds. So my Chiron placement is Taurus in the fourth house, or third, I can't remember. But it is particularly that no matter how much evidence I have of prosperity, I am afraid it will be taken from me. And divine masculine is showing that he shares this fear with me. And for me, it is material. But I think for divine masculine, it's actually more about abandonment. But it manifests in this financial way, this material way, which is relatable for the feminine. This is where they connect here, where they intersect here. So divine masculine has to be open about his financial health. He has to reveal that he doesn't feel very confident about his financial health. And that is very frightening to him, and it's uncomfortable. And he's seeking to improve it. And the universe is putting this card out and having this moment with masculine because this is an illusion. There is an illusion here. Your financial health is in your control. It is in how you view your situation and how you open up to receive. So this is something that can be shifted, that will be divinely. Wow. A new romantic cycle beginning, coming out with the Ace of Cups. It would seem that divine masculine is prepared for the next cycle, which means he's ready to end this last one of hiding and masking himself and just reveal who he is. Right now, divine masculine, your guidance that you're giving others is divinely guided, and the guidance you're receiving is divinely guided. So you're actually really starting to develop this connection and be very in tune with your inner voice. And also the Akashic records are your past lives. So your path through your whole incarnation, or all of your incarnations, is divinely guided. Dragonfly spirit. Truth transcends illusion. I will read this, but I'm going to say that my own reading is exactly what we just talked about for masculine through his whole reading, that the truth transcends the mask that he's wearing, transcends the deception that he's been in, and he has to learn this lesson. This is the 22 card in the Colette Baron Reed deck, and the message is: Dragonfly Spirit is here to remind you of the wisdom and truth available at all times in the hidden realms. Just as a dragonfly catches your eye with its reflective wings and body, Dragonfly Spirit appears to tell you to pay attention to the truth beyond the illusion and recognize the insights that come seemingly out of nowhere, peeking through from behind the veil. In the realm of spirit, there is far more wisdom than you can perceive with your senses, and there is a deep knowing that you are not separate or alone, for a higher power recognizes you and loves you beyond measure. Fears dissipate as you realize you are embraced by the nurturing force that is everywhere, always in communication with you. Alighting when you are preoccupied, Dragonfly Spirit offers this message: you exist in unity with all, including the protective spirits who share their wisdom, and you are being nudged along the path your soul needs to travel to have the experiences it craves. Love exists in many forms, and sometimes we overlook it when we don't recognize a particular form. Pay attention to the signs now that they remind you that each of us have inspired dreams seamlessly sewn into the fabric of the invisible world, and there is a great consciousness that exists in the seemingly empty spaces, guiding us on our journey. Open to the truth, letting the wisdom of the hidden realms inform you, providing insights your conscious mind overlooks. Beautiful. So, divine masculine, not only does the truth of your authentic self transcend the illusion that you're putting forth, but the illusion that you are believing in about the divine feminine's ability to betray you will also be transcended by the truth of who she is. The door that you need to open or close is to this Queen of Cups. Can't make it up. She's already in your headspace. This is who you want to open the door to. You want to be able to go before her, to beg for her forgiveness, to receive forgiveness, compassion, and understanding. And the key to opening that door is this Four of Pentacles, which is having a solid foundation. Now, it's interesting because you spent a lot of time on your side. You got two decks that put out the Three of Pentacles card in reverse. And the progression in this is to move from the 3 to the 4 to achieve stability. So in this card, though, we see a divine feminine who's trying to fit in, right? This is also a card about external validation. You want to be able to receive forgiveness and to be received by your Queen of Cups. And in order to be able to do this, you have to release any attachment you have had to the divine feminine fitting in to your idea of what the material reality should look like. You have to 7:55 on the clock. I can't make that up. My God. You have to allow yourself to release this attachment to others' opinions, whether she's going to fit into your life or fit into the picture or fit into the scene or whatever. If you want her forgiveness, then you have to find a way to overcome your fears about this or even for you to fit into her life. Something about that is coming to me. All right, Divine Feminine, let's go back over to you now and take a look at your oracle messages. In the light traits of the dilettante. So you are no longer in a situation where you aren't taking your work seriously that you do. You're not dabbling anymore. You're really very serious about what you do. But you don't have to be a professional. You're going deeply into your field, and you're just kind of doing things without having to like go to college first and get 3 degrees in order to feel confident enough to do it. So you're really in the light of this. And I think you're not being superficial in pursuing the masculine. You're being very serious. You're not chasing the masculine, but you're being very solid, being very stable energy, not getting hooked into his fears, not kind of feeding back those fears without context or explanation. Your guardian angel is here to support your child energy. So this is a call to be more playful, to be like a child, to be, you're resisting a little bit this child energy here. Maybe you need to be a little bit more playful and have a little more fun with the material. Don't get too caught up, because as soon as feminine gets a taste and she's like, oh my God, I can be the Queen of Pentacles. What do you mean? I can be the Empress. What do you mean? She starts to get into that side of herself that becomes very much validated again by material reinforcement. That's the word I want to use. So she's got to make sure she's doing this. She's still having fun doing what she's doing. My outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. Okay, so Divine Feminine is finally getting this message. And if she's not getting this message, this is a call to get this message. Every time I start the reading, I say, we are here to look at the balance between the Divine Feminine and masculine sides of self, understanding that whatever state we find this internal energy in, we can expect to see that energy reflected back to us in our external environment, right? That is what I say. Divine Feminine, this lesson is integral for you to be able to come into sacred union. You have incredibly enhanced psychic abilities right now. Because of the planetary alignments going on, there is a surge in psychic abilities for those of us, because Neptune is really active right now. So there is an enhancement. I do think this is a confirmation of telepathic communication, and the fact that the psychic connection that you have with this energy, this person that you associate with your masculine energy, it's so strong and stable right now. I feel this like intense calm that's coming from this ability to instantly telepathically connect with this person and communicate with their 5D energy, which is helping to heal and stabilize the union. Divine Feminine, don't get too cocky. Show the world the real you. Divine Masculine has to unveil and reveal the real him, right? So do you, girl. So do you. You have the star energy here. You're shining. This is in the back of your mind, though, right? This is underlying everything. This should be at the front. So make sure you're staying authentic, that you're really showing the world the real you. Look at I scratched myself, and now I have like, I need to go in the sun. My skin is so white. It's so bad. Oh my God. The ever unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. Don't forget this, Divine Feminine. The things that are happening on your behalf. The universe is conspiring to lead you towards right-minded thinking and the energy of love. and all the experiences that happen, all the tower moments, everything. It's just for you so that you can expand and grow and actually enjoy being on the planet and doing stuff. Oh, this card won't go away. Nothing is wasted. And you know what? Since it's come out so many times and I haven't read it in a while, we're going to read it, because when that happens, usually it's like, well, this is coming out, but you're missing some of the messages from this card. Okay, Spirit. Let's see. I think I have to cancel my recording session on Wednesday. I don't know. I feel like my voice is not going to be able to do it. Not good. Okay. Nothing is wasted. What seems hideous has its own beauty, and the recycling and repurposing the vulture does is as important as any other activity in nature that supports the cycle of life. Vulture Spirit's message is that nothing is to be wasted, for nature sees value in everything that exists. What seems rotten and ugly has the potential to be transmuted into something beneficial, and you are reminded that any suffering you have experienced has not gone to waste. Wisdom and understanding that arose from the experience are talismans that will serve you on your journey wherever you go. What is decaying is only changing form, and will fertilize seeds you wish to plant, turning that which has passed away into the substance that will support new growth. All that you might wish to deny or discard has value, and can be repurposed and reintegrated into the new you that you are becoming, and the new life that you are dreaming into being. No pain was in vain, and no experience was wasted, for you have the power to use it to co-create something far better. This is the miracle in your partnership with Spirit. No, pretty straightforward. This reading is just super straightforward today. It's just like, there's not a whole lot of mystery here. We're getting in under, like, maybe we'll get in under an hour and a half today. Divine Feminine needs to open the doorway to her Queen of Pentacles energy. Didn't I say it? Didn't we talk about it at length? We know that. She needs to feel her worth energy. She needs to feel her abundance, her prosperity. She needs to feel supported and competent and able to manage her finances. And she needs to feel like she's making big moves, mature material moves, instead of these sort of small, immature moves in her life. And the key is the Fool energy, the new beginning, the risk taking, and a loyalty to her, the innocent things that she wanted when she was young. The key to it is just having that fool's beginner's mind and diving into the things that she knows are potentially going to generate a lot of prosperity for her. And for the union, in closing, we have the Samaritan card in reverse today. So you are both in the shadow here. This is exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. Okay, so both of you are feeling a little bit salty right now. You're like, I'm doing things for the other person and they don't appreciate it. But you're not understanding that you both do really appreciate what the other one is doing, right? But you need to be able to make eye contact in order to successfully complete this trapeze dance, I guess we'll call it. And because you can't see one another, you can't trust that the other one is going to catch the other. So you get a feeling that the other person isn't sticking around for you because they think that you're not there. So you have to come into the light, which is refining your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. But I think it's more that you need to make eye contact. If you could possibly make eye contact, I feel that there would be no doubt. It would wipe out the doubt. Not seeing one another is really making it very difficult for you to be able to catch the other one. And so you're like exacting recognition. You're like, Divine Masculine, I did this for you. Did you see it? And if Divine Masculine doesn't respond the way that you think, then you think, oh, he didn't get my message, or he got my message, but then he sent me this weird fucked up one that I don't understand because I'm not fucking sleeping with somebody. What the fuck do you keep sending me that message for? Like, Divine Feminine is like, I don't understand. And then Divine Masculine is doing the same thing. He's like, I made her all these gestures and, you know, and she's sitting there and she still seems like she's sad or something. And I told her I'm coming. And maybe she's not even talking to me. Maybe there's somebody else that she's talking to. And I got this all wrong and not even me. And she's actually just sleeping with someone else. And I like, what the, because like, why isn't she with me doing the thing that I normally do? Or like, why don't I see her there? Or why isn't she posting the way she normally posts? And Divine Feminine is like, I'm not going to be spying anymore. And I'm not going to be trying to chase him with posting. So I'm just going to like cut that out. And then Divine Masculine is like, why is that happening? Because you keep needing the other person to see. It's like when you're a little kid and you're like, mom, watch. And then your mom's like, cool. And you're like, mom, watch. And your mom's like, awesome. Like, you just keep doing that. You're like, look at me. See me? Do you see me? Do you see me? And your mom is like, yes, I do. But like, why do you need me to see you? And the thing is, our existence when we're that age is constantly being confirmed by our interactions with the people around us, because that's when we're learning that we are not the center of the universe and that there are all these other people doing all these other things, right? Hello, Divine. And so you're constantly needing this affirmation that you're real. It's because you weren't before you got here. I'm material, right? And your mom is like, Jesus fuck. You are absolutely materially annoying. Yes, you're there. You did a flip in the pool again. Okay. Right? And then as a parent, you're like, I love you, but I'm going to murder you before you even get to your teen years. Because I'm pretty sure it's going to be even worse. Then you don't want me to see you. You don't want me to know what you're doing. You don't want me to know where you're going, right? So you're both desiring to be seen because that will help you confirm that what you have is real. But you have to feel real without the other person confirming it. Like my DM keeps doing a 24-hour of no posting cycle, and then we'll post something. And in the past, I used to be in that limbo of the no post and just be like, I made it up. And this past week, that just hasn't happened. Like, I've just been like, okay, you're doing your thing. Do your thing. I'm doing my thing. We're doing things. I know how you feel. I don't know how you're going to go about it because you seem cuckoo and you think I'm like betraying you all the time, but good luck with that. I don't know what to tell you because I've hit my point here, which is like, I know I don't have to wait. I've been doing affirmations and now the affirmations don't work until they work. You know how that works? Like you can say affirmations all you want, but until you align with the affirmation, it doesn't work. You have to believe in the potential fulfillment of the affirmation or you're just saying shit, you know? Like, but I believe them now. And when you believe in the affirmation you say, that it happens really quickly. Sometimes a little too fast. Anyway, get into alignment and look in each other's eyes so that you can finally have that feeling of like, Mom, see me. And Mom will be like, I see you. Because you have triumph here. You have something to be triumphant about. You have overcome obstacles. This isn't something that's going to happen. I'm not much of a predictive reader. I read the energy as it is. You can predict what's going to happen if you don't change the energy, or if it's going well, if you keep the energy going where it is, you can predict what's going to happen. But that is purely because you know where you stand and you know what your potential reactions will be, and you know what you need to do to curb reactions that will pull you in the direction you don't want to go. It's not because the future is set in stone. I don't believe it is. I believe there is a path that is suggested, and then we're playing like Grand Theft Auto, and we get to go on that path if we want or we don't to finish the game. And if we don't finish the game and we go off on a weird path and try to get our stars as far as we can until we get killed by the cops, then we start the game again. That's how I feel about the future. So the triumphant card means you're triumphant right now. This is your energy. You feel triumphant. You feel like you've overcome obstacles. You feel like you're powerful enough to continue to do that. And if you stay in this energy of triumph, guess what happens? Victory. Hey, energy flows where my intention goes. If you were at my TikTok live mini readings yesterday, this was how we closed the reading. And this is absolutely true. If you intend something to happen, your energy will go in that direction. 8:11 on the clock. And I saw 1:05:33 on the other one. So you will intend for your energy to go in a certain direction. If you think about that intention being out of reach, then your intention is shifting, and so is your energy flow. Because you told the universe, I want the thing, but I'm afraid I can't have the thing, right? Your intention is for the thing, but you're holding up the energy flow. You're blocking the energy flow that's going towards your intention by telling the universe that you're afraid you can't have the thing. And the universe has to be like, well, you can't have it? It's like, you're like, I want a chocolate bar. And the universe is like, okay, here you go. And you're like, oh, I don't know. Sugar is like addictive. And like, I don't know if I should have it. And it could, I might end up being sick from it. I could gain a lot of weight. I'm really concerned about that because I'm so concerned about my body image and I haven't learned to release that yet. And I don't know about intuitive eating, but I'm just so afraid of this. I don't think I can have it. And so it's like, so then God's got the candy bar and he's like, okay, you don't have to have it. She's like, well, no, but I want it. And he's like, okay. And like, I don't know, but it's not a good idea. And God's like, okay. And you're like, no, but I really do want it. I was like, okay. And you're like, but what if I eat it and then it's all gone and there's never any more left? God is like, I don't know. What do you want me to do? You want this or you don't want it? You want it, you want it, you don't want it, you want it, you want it. What? Wait, yeah. No wonder Lucifer has control because he has to give him the candy bar and be like, you take this, form an addiction to this. I don't know what else to do with it. I can't handle it anymore. She doesn't know what she wants. Your intentions. Your intention is for the candy bar, but your fears and your energy about your fear prevents the flow of the energy towards the thing until you release your fear that you're gonna, I don't know, be thrown into the 7th level of hell if you get what you desire. Empowerment. You are both in a place of power, and it's coming from the healing of the divine feminine energy. She was in a weakened state because she was constantly told that she was weak. And now we have given her her due. We have allowed her to step into her full power and divinity. And this is making you both very balanced and very ready to see the birth of your creation. Take a deep breath because the end of a tough cycle approaches. We saw that. Divine masculine's on the brink. I have to change. If I don't change, if I don't come forward and speak my truth and reveal my secrets and unveil my true authentic self, well, then I guess I won't get what I want. But I want to change, right? Divine feminine is hoping for the end of this tough cycle. The cycle where she has been waiting to see the truth revealed to her by the masculine energy. This cycle, you're being told right now, this end of this cycle is approaching because of where your energy is and because of your intentions and because of how you're flowing this energy. Your boundaries card is in reverse, Where do you need to establish better boundaries? There's people that are grasping, reaching. I'm blowing up on TikTok, which is awesome. But now I have to be very discerning because I have a lot of people that are still asking me for free readings. And I got to say, you get a free reading every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from me. If I'm doing roughly 5-ish hours a day of free reading related activities, when will I feed myself? So I really have to put my boundaries up right now and say, if you're reaching out to me for a free reading, I probably will be telling you no. There are very few circumstances where I will be called to give a completely free reading, purely because if I just keep doing free things, I can't pay for my life, which I was doing for a year, and I can't do that anymore. So personal readings, I do need an energy exchange for. Got to eat, right? So I have to put up my boundaries right now around those that are starting to grasp around me, because they see that I have a gift and they want to be able to partake of that gift. And I want to be able to share that gift as much as I can, as freely as I can, within the limits of what is healthy for me and my family, because I'm a single mom, ... And as those of you in the community know, if you're a single mom and you're working at your job and your boss came and said, hey, could you work for me for free for a couple hours? I'm trying to save my money. I really don't want to spend it on your valuable work right now, but is that okay? Would you be like, chill, no probs, right? Boundaries, okay? For the union, there are those that are reaching and grasping in regards to their say about the union. So there are people who have opinions about this coming together. And I feel that you have to protect yourself from those outside opinions. You have to establish boundaries. I also think that you have to get comfortable in defining your boundaries together, because if you don't communicate boundaries, how do you know if you violate them? You know, I had a friend who needed to take a step back, and I realized a couple days in that I didn't know what that constituted. And so I sent her a message and said, hi, I just need to clarify. Do you want communication or do you need no communication? Do you have a time frame? And she said, no communication, please. And I don't have a time frame. And I said, okay. And I respect that. I won't violate that boundary. It's hard because there's things I want to tell her, and like, oh, I did this and this happened, and I want to find out how her dates have gone, and I want, but she needs space, and she asked me for a boundary. I love her, so I will give her the boundary that she needs. But she had to communicate it to me. So you need to communicate your boundaries to one another. Buffalo spirit. The abundant universe will provide. I'm going to read the protection message on this one. This is the 10 card, which is also a number of completion. And the protection message is, when Buffalo Spirit visits you with a message of protection, he is asking you to shift your thinking from poverty consciousness to one where you trust the universe will provide. Have you been falling into financial insecurity? Oh my God. Worrying that there will not be enough money in the future? Have you been stressing and feeling sorry for yourself, worrying that because you have no romantic relationship now, you will never have one? Do you see scarcity where there is, in fact, abundance? Are you comparing yourself to others and falling short? Self-pity, entitlement, fear, and lack are all thought viruses that seduce you into darkness. Buffalo Spirit nudges you to make a gratitude list and be mindful of your thoughts at this time. Even if outer events have happened to challenge your beliefs in abundance, outer conditions are temporary. If you are suffering from the malaise of fear that you are impoverished, realize that it is only poverty of perception and perspective. Prayer, communion with your higher power, and gratitude coupled with compassionate, selfless service will snap you right out of it. Give to someone who has less than you. Be thankful for the tiniest things and say affirmations. Then you will remember abundance is the true nature of the world. So both of you are in a lack mindset and you need to get out of that poverty consciousness. So doing these things that this card suggested will be very helpful to the both of you right now. Before I close, I want to make an announcement. I am Pearl's Prayers on TikTok. On Instagram, I am Tuned in Tarot. I do have a private Pearl's Prayers account on Instagram, but I will never, ever direct message anybody I do not know already from that account. That is literally my private account. I'm not giving that account. I do not usually accept followers on that account. It's like one where I follow people because it's like my private account. Pearl and the Prayers is my Instagram account for my music. Right now, there are people on TikTok posing as me. It'll say Pearl's Prayers with an underscore. There's a bunch of different ones. I will never, ever go into your DMs and send you a link to click without you asking me, hi, can you please send me the link for this? I will never, ever do that. So if you get a message from a private account that says, follow this link for a free reading, just report the account. They're impersonating me. This is a problem that goes on every single platform. So there are no underscores in my names. I have over 4,600 followers on TikTok. I have like 670 or something, or 570 on, I don't know. I'm like in the 500s and 600s on Instagram. So pay attention to the follower numbers. I won't message you from a private account. If you don't know me, you're not going to get a message from me, period. Like if you message me, I'll respond to you on my actual account. But if you don't know me, I'm not going to go into your DMs and be like, please go click this link and I'll give you a reading. I don't do that. Okay. I just wanted to make sure people knew that because that's starting to happen, which is cool for me because it means that my profile is doing well, but not cool for the people that fall for that. I'm not going to DM you if I don't know you, unless we've had some kind of an interaction. And then you're going to know it's me because there's not going to be any underscores in my name. Okay. The 10 of Cups is the doorway that we are trying to open, and that's not a surprise. That's our bliss fulfillment. That is our spiritual fulfillment. Everything that we have ever longed for coming together in this sacred union. There is a key to opening this door, and the key is the Knight of Cups, which did we get the Knight of Cups? We did get the Knight of Cups. Divine Feminine got that Knight of Cups today. Facing the same direction, actually. And they even look kind of similar. So the key to opening this door to the union is for the masculine energy to make the offer, period. And for the feminine to receive the offer and accept it, period. Is that so hard? How do you open up to receive? The answer to that question is your cure for your disease of separation and poverty consciousness. You open yourself to receive, and you have faith that what you have asked for, right, in this energy of the Two of Wands, what you have asked for will be granted to you. Knock, and the door shall be opened. Seek, and ye shall find. Ask, and ye shall receive. Okay? You have to have faith that when you ask for something, you get what you asked for. You have to have clarity about your intention so that you know that what you get is what you asked for. And you have to release fears that close you off to receiving. So you will be closed off to receiving if you fear that in the past when you've received, it has not gone well. It has gone very badly, something like that. So open yourself to receive the abundance from one another and make the offer. And masculine will be making this offer to the feminine energy. Feminine energy will be using her masculine offer to make energy to make an offer of her own creativity, her own prosperity. You need to be doing this, making offers of your feelings, expressing your emotions, going with the flow in your life. If you want to see the masculine energy doing that, and the person that you are associating with that energy coming towards you, you must figure out how you need to flow with your emotions and give and express your feelings to others. Okay? All right. I hope you have the best day. I am going to start a bunch of meetings soon. And I didn't do my housework, so I have to squeeze that in today somehow because, like, Mama needs some clothes. I need to wash my clothes so much. And, okay, so the schedule this week. Wednesday, obstacles removed. Friday, release and rebuild. Thursday and Sunday are wildcard days. I usually do a Tell Me Everything spread on one or both of those days. Saturday on Instagram Live with Grace Strega, and we will be reading cards for people after the check-in. And then throughout the week, I will be doing mini reads 6 days a week on TikTok, and I will be also probably doing, I'm sorry, let me clarify. I do 3-minute mini readings that I put out, I post to TikTok. And then throughout the week, I will be doing mini card readings for people. It's sort of like when I feel like it, and I have to be careful. I did too much yesterday. I did too much this weekend. I was having fun, and my ego was getting stroked because I was getting like 50 followers every time I would do it. I'd be like, ooh, this is fun. But it's exhausting because I also had booked readings as well. Keep booking readings, please. Personal readings, help me out. Go click support on my website, prosprayers.com. Like the videos, subscribe to them, share them with your friends. That's how you can help me support myself and my son and my dreams as a musician and an artist. If you'd love to hear my music, you can go find Pearl and the Prayers on all of the streaming music services. Thank you so very much. I hope you love my new single, It's Me, Babe. It is about the twin flame journey. If you can, when you read the lyrics or listen to the lyrics, I'm sure you'll see all of the parallels there. So my whole record definitely is influenced by it. Thanks so much for being here. It's 1:22 on the clock over there. Have the best day, everybody, and take care.